Hey guys, Big Tuna here. Today I want to talk about 4 things I did as a beginner to get better at healing. I feel that these things were the most impactful towards my growth and really helped promote that self-evaluation, problem-solving trait that everyone knows and loves. Of course, if you want to see more videos like this where I talk about the more in-depth, complex things I did to get better at healing, then make sure to leave a like rating down below and comment what you want to see. Number 1, record your gameplay. Now, naturally as people, we build ourselves a certain way in our minds because we can't actually see what we're doing. So we develop our own bit of imagination of what we think we are and how we think we act. But when it comes to World of Warcraft and recording your gameplay, the gameplay speaks for itself. It's the truth. It's what actually happened. So you get to see if you're really what you think you are. You may think that, you're the best. Your cooldown rotations, absolutely amazing. Your healing output, your communication, out of this world, elite, whatever. Or it might be the opposite. You may think that you suck and your communication's horrible and the way you use cooldowns is absolutely god forbidden, never want to see that again. Your gameplay, what you recorded, is going to speak the truth. Now, I have, my own recordings that I do. We can kind of come over here and see some of the recordings I have. I record all my videos because, again, I make YouTube videos, so naturally I would have most of my games kind of recorded and kind of documented around here. And this is really important because when you get to watch yourselves in the third person point of view, you basically become your own teacher, alright? Seeing how well you played, what you did right, what you did wrong, and how to improve the bad and continue the good. So we can kind of, come down here. I'm starting to label my stuff now, which is really great. So we can see here, we'll use this one example. RBG, round 2, 6/21, June, and then June 21st. So we can kind of come here. This was, 2 days ago.
Just remember I beat him in day
and whatnot. Make sure it's like not too loud here. And we'll kind of go to game. We'll go to like game number 2 here. All right. I think this is a good example. I'm doing all right for this opener, but look what's happening. You can already see mistake number 1 already. The fight's engaged. The fight is already happening. They're confident. They're across the bridge. The fight's already happening. What do I not do? I'll tell you what I don't do. Lightwell. Lightwell is not down. Now, this is a 1900 team, so not very difficult. I'm not going to get punished super heavily for messing up. But still, with all my experience in playing the game, simple mistakes like this shouldn't happen. My Lightwell should be down. In the unfortunate situation where I'm CC'd, and my team, be it my DPS or my other healers, drop below 50% health, they're not going to get that Lightwell healing, and that's not good. So I'm kind of, look at me, I'm walking around, doing nothing, by the way, not even stunning anyone, not putting Shadow Word Pain on anyone. Lightwell is still not down. What am I doing here? I don't even know what I was thinking in this situation. Like, it's so obvious now that is so wrong. And instead of pressing Lightwell, I fade Spirit of Redemption, Divine Hymn. Now that's not bad because I am immune to CC, I get my healing out, and I'm in LOS of all my melee because of this dragon, deep breath, line of sight garbage. It was a good play to Spirit of Redeemer, but still, Lightwell's not down. The faster, you're not only doing it for the healing, you're doing it to get it back faster, so you can get more Lightwells throughout the game. The faster Lightwell gets down on the ground, the faster the cooldown happens. Alright, it's pretty standard. So yeah, that's a mistake. With all my experience in the game, something like that should not happen. My Lightwell should have been down the minute my DPS got touched. Alright, but you can't focus on the downsides. You gotta focus on what you did good. We can fast forward a bit. I see the dragon DPS has the flag. That's not a tank. So I see this, I'm putting some damage on him. I'm not even healing my team. I'm doing damage on this guy. I'm doing damage. I see that he hovers far away from his healers. I see that the healers back here are in a binding shot. I immediately notice, I notice an opportunity to become great. He keeps on going because he thinks that his healers are going to be with him.
Nice, keep him out here. Don't let us.
I notice I can stop the connection, the reconnect. I go in, I fear them all. I root them off that. We kill the dragon. We kill their FC. I did something good. Alright. Now I know to continue this good thing. If there's ever a situation where I can be in a position to stop reconnects like that and keep them far apart, separated, fear, void tendrils, whatever else I gotta press it. Make sure they do not reconnect as a flag carrier. Alright, so now I know to continue the good and improve the bad. It's a very, very great learning experience, and again, it just helps promote the healthy growth of self-evaluation, because when it comes to getting better, you are your own teacher. Only you can make yourself better. Number 2 is make a document. Now this will serve as kind of your WoW journal, where you will document your progress. Being able to identify what you need to start doing, writing them down serves as a nice, good, constant reminder until the point where all the tips you wrote down become second nature. So we can kind of come here and see what I have kind of done in my documents, in my little WoW journal. I made this when I started out healing, so a year and a half ago. And this was just all the stuff that I noticed I wasn't doing and what I need to start doing. And I look at all this stuff, and I will continue looking at all this stuff until the point where I don't need to look at it and it becomes full second nature to me. Alright? All the stuff that I noticed I wasn't doing is all on here. For example, confidence. I used to be a very big Debbie Downer on myself. No confidence that, I could be a good healer, and that's really bad. You were the sole reason for your team being alive. So if you're not confident in yourself to save your team, there's no way in hell you're ever going to win. So I noticed that was a problem. I wrote it down here. I noticed what I needed to do. Change my mood. When I noticed that, I'm not a try-hard player, but I am very self-conscious about my own gameplay. So when I know that I'm playing bad and I'm the reason why we're losing, my mood just goes so sour. I don't want you to talk to me. Just cue it up. Let's just do it. That's not good. Change my mood. Be positive. Make people laugh. Be the guy people want to be around. I notice that's a problem. I got to write it down here. All right. And all this other stuff. Communication. Pay attention. Be great. Be more assertive. Take control of the game. All this stuff is in my documentation. Now there's no excuse for me to not execute each and every one of these. I acknowledge that they're problems. Now I have to acknowledge that these are the solutions I got to keep on going after in order to become better and better. And then we have some stuff down here, class specifics that I noticed I was struggling on and how to solve them. At least what I thought the solutions were. So you can see here, this all stuff is like a little bit outdated, so the stuff may not be true today, but that's just because I'm farther in my journey now to the point where I don't need these, this stuff down here. But seeing as how badly I played that Holy Priest in that RBG that we just watched, I might need to look and update the stuff more. All this stuff, I always look at this stuff every single day before I queue any 3s, any RBGs, pugs, whatever. I make sure to look at all this stuff and try to execute every single tip to its maximum potential. Alright? This is pretty good. I have another one here, which is kind of more so the actual journal type format, which is just kind of writing how I performed overall during these nights. I had a much better one in the sense of there was more, but I don't know what happened to that document. I'm pretty sure it's something was wrong with that. I couldn't open it for some reason, but I don't know if it was corrupt, which I don't know how you can get a corrupt document, but it just wasn't working, so I had to delete it. But, this is kind of the still same format. Basically, before I go to sleep, or when it comes nighttime, when I know I'm not going to be queuing, until the next day or whatever, I'll kind of come in here, write down how I did that night, what I was struggling with, what I did great. We can see here, May 31st, I noticed a problem in the Mogu maps we're playing. To pinpoint the issue would be positioning, constantly being LOS of the planters. Makes it hard to heal my backline. So I noticed there's a problem. How do I fix it? Well, I think maybe the solution is to stay/peek around the stairs. That way I can have some bit of cover whilst having a good view on everyone. I started doing that a little bit better on those maps, So this is just, again, further enhancing your self-evaluation, problem-solving components of your brain, your frontal lobe. I think this stuff is absolutely amazing. So make a document, get a journal, get down to writing, and, be great. Number 3, ask questions, all right? In school, everyone had questions. No one understood what the math teacher was explaining. No one understood him. But instead of actually raising their hands to ask for help, they stayed to themselves and failed their assignments, and probably even failed the class too. All right? People don't want to feel dumb. I get it. I was that kid. I didn't want to feel dumb. I didn't want to feel like the only kid in the class, who didn't get the question. But guess what? Something I learned later on in life. It's dumber to not ask questions knowing you're having trouble with something than to ask the question and receive help. It's super dumb when you really think about it when you're much older, and you don't really care about what other people think about you. If you have friends of any high level and high end experience, ask them questions. They don't have to be the same class as you or the same role as you. Just ask them questions about what you're struggling with. It could be, hey buddy, for me it's Levladen. Levladen is a very high-end player, multi-gladiator. I have a friend, Santi, where's he at? Who is a very high-end player as well. I got my boys here, Levladen. I always ask him, especially when I was starting out, I was asking him, hey, I notice I'm trinketing really bad stuff. I'm panic trinketing. When should I trinket? When is a good time to trinket? Guess what he told me? This is when I was starting out healing. He's like, hey, when you're trinketing, make sure it's for a good reason. And if you're trinketing, make sure you have something to use outside of that trinket. Don't just trinket for the sake of getting out of crowd control. Do you have lay on hands ready when you trinket? Do you have spirit link ready when you trinket? Do you have life swap ready when you trinket? Do you have any bit of good healing when you trinket? Because odds are, you trinket with nothing good coming out of that, other than just simply getting out of CC, you're still going to be on the back foot of that game. Alright? And that helps me greatly. I was like, wow. That's great advice. Thank you, Levladen. But if you don't know anyone, streamers, YouTubers, there are hundreds and thousands of people constantly on Twitch and on YouTube right now who are multi-gladiators and play at like 2800 in MMR constantly throughout their daily lives. People who are insane at the game. Now, are they good people in the sense of if you ask them a question, they won't make you feel like an idiot? I don't know. But it's still better to ask people. You can go into any Twitch streamer. It could be someone big, it could be someone small. It could be Sea-Doo, or it could be Fox Galama, or some random, 2800 Mistweaver monk. I don't know. Ask them questions. Don't be afraid to ask these questions. You know that you're struggling, and it's good to get some insight from people who play at such a high level. I mean, hell, when people ask me questions, for example, this person was, was telling me that he was struggling with Shadow Word Death. How do I Shadow Word Death instant cast CC? So I replied to them with, what I found was the correct answer to his question. Anytime people ask me something, I try to give them as much information as possible because I want them to succeed past their struggles. So if you have questions, find someone to. It could be someone who's in Valdrakken. All right, anyone and everyone. Ask your questions if you really do have questions. Number 4, training dummies. Alright, the number one most important thing to learn on any class you play is the rotation. Learning how to execute your rotation perfectly to do as much healing or damage as possible is your first step to becoming great, and one way to do that is by simply coming here to the training room, Gladiator's Refuge, and just simply hitting these target dummies. You have cleave dummies, you have single target dummies, all the dummies here in the world to practice your rotation on. Stress-free environment. These dummies can't hurt you unless you hit this guy, Boulder Fist, but these guys can't hurt you, they can't LOS you, they can't kick you. It's a perfectly stress-free environment to just simply practice all your healing rotation on. Doesn't matter if you're a DPS, it doesn't matter if you're a healer, just simply hit this dummy, spam Soothing Mist, spam whatever it is your rotation is for whatever class you're playing, and just get comfortable with it. Because that's all we're really trying to do when we're in this training room. Practice getting comfortable with your rotation. Execute it as smoothly as possible. Alright? It's just like, sitting in creative mode in Fortnite. Alright? Season 9, me trying to get into phase and TSM with my epic sniper clips and, point-second edits, but I noticed very quickly that I sucked, and I quickly gave up on that game until now. But yeah, don't be afraid to spend a lot of time here. This is, again, perfectly stress-free environment. Nothing bad can happen to you by just standing in here. Spend as much time as you need. I still do this to this day, where I'll just log on, won't even queue any games. I'll just sit here on my Holy Priest, or my Shaman, or my Paladin, or my Monk, or my Hunter and Rogue, and just simply hit that target dummy. Heal this dummy. You know, that's it. You can even go out here and talk to, you know, some, you know, very nice PvPers over here. Ask them to a duel, you know, ask them to a duel. It'd be like, hey, you know, I'm learning healing. Can you just try and kill me? And just try and heal through his damage. Rotate your cooldowns. Try to heal through the damage. Maybe even practice, you know, juking kicks. And then when you feel like you're comfortable enough, go into those battlegrounds. Go into those arena skirmishes, you know. It's a very non-consequential environment, but it still will build a little bit of pressure. How well are you going to execute that rotation under the pressure of people trying to kill you and end your life? And then you're ready for your arenas. You're ready to push your 3s, your 2s, your RBGs. Alright? Sitting here, practicing on these dummies, getting comfortable with our rotation to the point where it's just purely fluent. Number one step to becoming great. Alright? So there you have it, guys. 4 things I did as a beginner to get better at healing. Hopefully these 4 things help you get better during your healing conquest to become absolutely amazing and better than Big Tuna. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like rating down below. Maybe even consider chucking a subscribe my way with notifications on so you never miss a video. Alright, hopefully you guys have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, night, and I will see you guys in the next life. Peace.